Resurgence is a totally different beast, a totally different game mode. I saw Lucky shouting it out on timeline, by the way. He's super excited about Resurgence. A tournament's coming to the light. So let's get into the third map and see more of this crazy Resurgence action, because there's a lot of players that are comfortable in this game mode, but it's a lot more difficult when you're playing against some of the highest caliber Warzone players out there.
Map 3 begins right now. Teams looting up as fast as they are able to jump into the action, where your death will not be punished as severely. Those Resurgence timers very easily whittled down. Lulu on your screen now, but it's Chrissy in trouble on the staircase, not able to come out on top. That was zlaner flying in. And an elimination this early on into a Resurgence map is a disaster for them. That staircase, of course, great on the side of zlaner, but that's gotta sting.
Sometimes I'm glad that we don't have cams on during gameplay, because my jaw hit the floor. That's how crazy some of these Resurgence drops can be. If you drop with an entire team of 3 before you have your loadout, before one of you can split and kind of play anchor, all it takes is one mistake. You lose one team fight and you are out. There is no gulag. There is no coming back. There's no Resurgence timer. When all 3 of you go down, you are chalked. You're out of there. And for a team like Destroy's team with Chrissy that was doing fantastic, had some great rounds the last 2 maps, that is destructive to your point total average throughout the course of 8 games. They still have a chance, but that really hurts the heart.
Yeah, and not to twist the knife, coach, but looking at the updated leaderboard, it is Team Adapt who won map 2 that are in first place with just shy of 40 overall points, but it is Team Chrissy, the one we just watched get eliminated, who are in second place, and they're only about 4 or 5 points behind first, with Team Aydan right at their heels in third. So not only does it hurt because there's no drop maps, but knowing you had such a good position already going into that's gotta feel so terrible. But hey, we know that they have the rebound capacity. Destroy is a vibes king. They will bounce back, but that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow.
Totally agree. Well, looking at the squad, another Resurgence demon recently, I think, was top 10 watched in August for Warzone streamers is Nixta, a fun teammate add here to Noobs and Smixy. Pretty competitive player too, like certainly a demon on the map, so I'll be curious to see if this is a massive value add for them. Smixy, though, going big by herself. Not only was Huskerrs taken out before, but there goes Mayapo and Rumble. That means Huskerrs squad eliminated as well. That's now back-to-back teams we've seen on main, Katie, get full eliminated. This will be the first time, I believe, in the last 2 maps, now into the third, that we won't see nearly all 19 teams in the final circles.
Is this the main stage curse right now? We might want to switch off Smixy, because at the rate this is going, her team might be doomed just because we're spectating her. As I say that, Nixta does go down. Could actually be Ken's v Smixy here as she's forced to back off. Attract is alive, as is Blicky. So she goes down. Not a dire situation, but does need to back off.
Whoever you died.
A reload in, figure out who is across the way. I do believe, though, that was Smixy's team.
It definitely was. And actually, Smixy squad was hunting T Blicky as a bounty, too. So a lot of back and forth going around right now. It looks like Noobs was able to take down Attract. And because of that, Kins is going to play slow, play back, just make sure that Attract gets back into the map, and hopefully can get some aerial recon, if you will, as you come flying back in. Don't have to worry about getting chopped up into sushi, but Kins is worried about people coming around the corner. There's Smixy, but wow, that's a full team with 3 push. A risky play, by the way. If there was more than one person there and you lose that team fight, you are full wipe. But they trusted their intuition. They took down Attract a moment ago. That means they had player advantage. That means they win the gunfight. Full team there pushing through and finding at least Kins, but won't be a full team wipe on Kins, so they should be good to go. They just have to get into that regain blender and hopefully get out.
Well, taking a look now, I do believe with what we saw out of kill counts in Lola last map, we do finally have an updated leaderboard, which is Lola in first, followed by Team Joewo, Swagg in third, then Team Adapt in fourth, and Team Queen Eliminator rounding out the top 5. Chrissy's team's just behind them in 6th. Joewo, the team currently in 2nd place, looking to regain first after a map 1 win. Seeing what they can find. A loadout is going to be tempting to work their way over to, but of course you got to clear your corners first, make sure you're not going to get caught out.
Yeah, Joe is really relying on the sniper, which I don't mind, especially with the way they've been playing. You can use that Lockman sub at just about every distance that you're going to need in Vondel, as opposed to something like Almanza that has much longer sight lines. But you're right, it's hit or miss. You got to be hitting your shots or you're going to be chalked. It looks like Iceman Isaac's going down from the side of Ebates using, I believe that's, I still call it the MP7. I know it's not the MP7, but still. Ebates on the other side finding one. But where is the rest of Iceman Isaac's team is the big question. It looks like Ebates is not able to find it.
Looking over what's going on with Sage, 2 eliminations. Not a bad point to be at this stage, waiting for Circle 2 to begin to close. But Swagg, again, it feels like every time we spectate Swagg, they are right in the mix of the chaos, waiting for Cranks to get back. 18 seconds to do so. But here we go. Who's around the corner? Swagg gives the call out, but no solid push from them just yet. And I think just Swagg gets tagged up on the staircase. Does have a smoke so critical to survivability, not only in Vondel, but in Al Mazrah itself, that a lot of these teams getting these early wipes have been taken down by that risky play of the whole 3-stack moving together, which of course puts them at risk as well, because you won't have that anchor player. But it's worked out for a few teams so far, as Biffle is being hunted, but only at 1 threat level so far. Nothing to worry about just yet.
Yeah, if there's one major rule in Resurgence tournaments that everybody should know going into it, it's don't push as an entire team of 3 into risky situations. Like, it's just never worth it unless you absolutely need the kills or the Resurgence timer is out, then push as a team of 3. Otherwise, it's never worth the risk. But nice shots here from Sage across the board. Again, this is your last map winners trying to go back-to-back. Certainly possible. A dynamic trio. Phase depth, of course, fantastic. You know, he can shoot his gun. There's no question about it. The amount of Warzone experience he has, specifically Vondel, I'm not sure. Seemingly going fairly well, though, after winning a map and Adapt finding a kill on screen. He is kind of teamed up here with Sage to play together, as Soka is kind of pushed out a little bit further forward and onto the ground. So I don't mind this. Again, you kind of want to stay within a certain distance of each other, but Peachy in trouble as we swap perspectives. That's Believe yet again on main stage, finding a couple more kills. Katie, you and I had the chance to cast hardpoint tournaments as well with COD King event that happened not too long ago, and Believe was going crazy on every format possible. So you can certainly bet he's going to continue to go crazy here on Resurgence.
Believe is a phenomenal player. Most folks will know him from S&D. He's done a great job historically in S&D tournaments, as well as Sage. Teammates in a bit of trouble. Does have 1 player in Hisoka down, but should be able to hopefully get the pickup sooner rather than later. Sage just checking those corners, making sure it's safe for them. But yeah, Believe phenomenal in the hard points, phenomenal in Search and Destroy, and very strong showings as well in Warzone, a game which I know that he's been playing a lot more in the last year or so. So it looks like things are paying off. With Knight perhaps in a little bit of action here at the top of the parking garage. Did have a 2 threat for just a moment, but knows someone has to be nearby. And, well, not the direction you were looking, but able to scramble away, reassess. But again, every time we look at these players, Coach, how often is it that they do not have plates?
I'm telling you, resources are everything when it comes to Warzone. And again, they've been playing fantastic, but they've got to stay alive. That's kind of the nature of Night Capture and Z-Smith's curse at this point. It's that they're finding eliminations, they're wrapping well, they just put themselves in bad situations right as the timer goes down. They've fallen in 14th and 15th place respectfully, I think. So need to be careful to make sure you can net some more of those multipliers while still finding kills. Joe's playing Anchor here with the sniper. Gonna play patient as Lights Fire is in a bit of trouble, but Ebates answering off screen with 2 at least eliminations, if not more. Ebates is going crazy. Can hear the cause behind. Ebates just full team wipe by himself. Team Limax, another team eliminated before the timer has closed. I think Ebates is gonna be posting that one on timeline later, Katie.
As he should. If you hear comms like that, a player like Ebates getting that loud, it's gotta be a good sequence Hopefully, we will be able to see it on the timeline. But Joe, in a bit of a tricky position, almost was downed earlier, looking out the window to his right and just trying to figure out where these players are. Spots one, not able to get a full tag, but the reads will be in. Played a little bit of peekaboo over the top of that roof as Circle 3 begins to close. 1 minute left on Resurgence and Disaster striking. This is not when you want to go down. Again, everyone keep in mind, right under the minimap, that Resurgence timer is ticking down. This is a crucial moment in these maps, as I think we did see Lula get down, I believe, perhaps by Ebates. This team getting a very nice amount of kills. I'd love to see how many Ebates is at, but well, unexpected from Joewo. That is what we call some tragic COD timing, because he was just looking out that window the moment he looks away. I think that might have been Sage, flies through and takes him down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Sage. It might have been Empathy. Regardless, a nice play from Empathy to take Joe out of the game. And again, if you could take an anchor out and the other two are in trouble, all of a sudden you're in a precarious situation. You thought you were feeling fantastic, and then bang, you're not even top 15. Now we have officially made it to the top 15 after that one. Swish'em going down. Teammates likely answering back. That's Intex avenging the GF, and Reedboy trying to avenge Iceman Isaac. With 18 seconds left, you got to be careful here if you're Skullface and Reedboy. You do not want to go down this early. Resurgence has officially now been disabled, which means, Katie, guess what? Teams are going to be dropping like flies as we move into the fourth circle. 13 teams remaining. No room for error.
Right here. Joewo, I think, only had 68 bullets. He didn't have any plates in reserve, so a much more perilous position than what we see out of Kenz's team, right? Look at how much utility they have. They are set up very well, especially in cash. And based on their location, not a lot of threat points for them either. So potential here for them to set up very effectively for the endgame.
Little pistol whammy for Joe in the water. That's a big take on Jukies. It's going to be Tommy's team. And this is the nature of the water fights here in Vondel. There's a lot of water in Vondel, and if you can kind of take command of some of the seas, if you will, with the weapons at your disposal, that's going to be huge. Kids, though, taking advantage of one close, wins, and playing with a team fight. There's a couple people from behind. Adrian, Lulu going down by the hand of Kins, but now it's just Kins alive. Needs to make it to top 9 for the next multiplier, and is going to play slow to make sure that they can do it.
Through the smoke, and you could hear the comms try to get placement, presumably a decent enough amount of kills that they can focus more on that, but Joewo falls in trouble, chooses to give up, cut down by Clink Slays, and trying to figure out exactly where they're going to go, but now it's all on Unrational. Does have 3 eliminations, but not a position you want to be in. 49 bullets and a dream as we swing back over to Knight. A team that looks like they've stabilized, but when it comes to cash and at least Femtex is not a lot to go around.
Yeah, fairly exposed up here, but plenty of cover to utilize if you need it. So take your shots while you're exposed and then jump back behind the cover. The problem is zone moving without, I was about to say, without a gas mask, you're going to have to rotate quickly and early. And guess what? There's a lot of teams looking at you right here. This is a precarious spot to be in on high ground, and he knows it. Pushes forward into cover. They've taken over this chapel, at least for a moment. Maybe not the bottom floor, though. Cap, C-Smith on the top floor. Knight, see you later.
Maybe not just yet if he can somehow get that self-revive off and get away from the precision, but it'll be a tall task. You can hear it flying overhead, and no, he's able to get up and at least get down to be revived from teammates. So not the perfect play, but hey, you're alive, and that is what matters. 3 eliminations here for Knight. I'd be curious to know what the rest of the team is rocking with. We might have to wait and see, but we swing back over to M-Sage. 4 eliminations. And well, similar situation in terms of cash, but with smokes and Semtexes and a healthy amount of ammo in a decent enough position. Now we swing back to Joewo. The fight is in on the very same team we just saw. Trying to stay alive, able to get 1 and the team wipe on top of it. Now just 5 remaining teams, barely above double digits. And if you have a full squad at this point, you are doing very well to close this out and take first place. Joewo's team potentially, Coach, primed to get their 2nd win of the day.
Yeah, they're going to have to go through another map winner, though. You've got Team Sage, Soka, Adapt on the other side in zone. It's going to be a tough rotation from Ebates. I think Ebates said something along the lines of there's no excuses for us not to win this one. 4 teams left. Sure, you've had a fantastic map. Going to be difficult to beat this team unless you get the correct zone pull. We'll see. There is a moving zone that they can play around with. They've got a bit of cover here. If they can keep the pressure on their opponents to the right, they should be good. No, there's another team to the left. They're in trouble. 4 teams left. They're getting pinched from both sides in the gas. And guess who it is? Z-Smith, Knight, and Cap all alive as well. 3 teams left. That's a team wipe on Ebates and Joewo. That means, guess what? It's our last map winners likely versus Capture, Z-Smith and Knight to finish this thing off. I said watch out for this trio. They're finally staying alive till the end. This is what they've been working on. This is why they're here. We'll see how many points they're able to garner if they can grab the win.
What a phenomenal third party out of Knight, because if they don't take down Joewo's team there, they had just downed Sage on the other side and very well could have wiped them and primed themselves for a second map win. But Knight here to play spoiler. Everyone, though, on the side of Sage is alive, so it's going to be a rotation not in Knight's favor. Hisoka is set up toward that water play. You'll have to look at the bridge, but it is going to be Adapt who goes down, and that could seal it. Oftentimes, the team that gets the down first is the team that falls, and Knight not going to give them an opportunity to revive. Flies across the bridge, but can't get it done. The trade is in 1-for-1. Z-Smith trying to get back up onto his feet. Adapt's trying to stay alive as we swing over to Sage into the smoke, and not expecting it. A second place finish, and you can't be too upset about it, Goads, but it is going to be that nice sip of the monster for Knight. A job well done. Map 3 is theirs.
Huge win from Knight's team. Honestly, almost flawlessly executed, even given the circle that they didn't want. That's how dynamic and valuable smokes can be to help out. And they pushed the correct fight. And look, if you're Knight, he's talking about running at his opponents, and he's right. Sometimes you have to. And if you catch Soka unaware like that, Soka was playing slow, proned out on the other side of the bridge, waiting for the rotation. Wasn't expecting Knight to just full sin, fly around the corner, grab the elimination on Soka, and get the